I guess here we are. We've got Top Shelf Premium coming up next. We've got Miami, Turkey, not Amsterdam, but not far from Amsterdam. We've got straight Bangalore. All over the world, this team of AI Makerspace legends has come together today, worked all day on something that was apparently very ambitious. And I personally am ridiculously pumped to see what they've got in store for us. I'm going to go ahead and hand it off now to the premium AI group with Juan, Mert, Pano, Shubham, and don't forget, calling in from the San Francisco Bay Area, Christos.
Christos, yes.
Hell yeah.
Let me tell you, first of all, we don't call it ponchos anymore. They are panchos. So if you see Pano or Christos with a poncho, now they are called panchos. And there is a story behind that. But let me get first to our amazing project. Every organization faces every type of problems all day long, and they need experts to solve them. For instance, in a regular corporation, you have payroll or human resources that include people like marketing, sales, human resources, finance, purchases, inventory, and management, and much more. Other organizations like hospitals have other roles. But the common thing is that in every organization, regardless of the nature, there are always problems that needs to be resolved. For instance, we created a hypothetical company in the sports industry that sells gadgets for bikers. And in this hypothetical company, a market research company came out with a report that said that we were losing market share and the competitors were gaining that market share. So we said, how can we solve this? Well, we created a system where we as a company could specify roles, and these roles will become agents, and the agents will be backed by the best LLMs, in our case, GPT-4. What the system does in the user interface, and I want everybody to imagine this user interface at this point, the user will see a box where he will enter the problem. The problem can be a description, like I told you now, or it can be an email received from a customer complaining, or it can be from a vendor saying we are delayed with the parts, or it can be from the bank saying, listen, that loan is not coming anymore. Every type of problem, the user will put it in this box and will hit help me. When he hits help me, this problem is given to an orchestrator that analyzes the problem and decides out of all the agents and the roles, which agents, let's define 3 agents, which ones are the best to solve this problem. I have to say something before that. Each agent, when it was created, of course, we gave it a name, like Mary or John or Daniel. We gave it a role in the company, and we gave a deep description of their capacities, their experience. We basically created a persona on each individual agent. So when we hit help me, the system picks the best 3 possible roles to solve this problem. For instance, in the case of losing market in the East Coast of the United States, the agent would pick, for instance, marketing guy, sales guy, and probably management or probably finance. Let's say that he picks management. We take these 3 people, these 3 agents, and we send them to a chat room like those that we enjoy so much in AI Makerspace. We go to these rooms and they start discussing the problem. So we give them the problem, they start discussing it, trying to solve the problem. There are 2 possible outputs from this meeting. They can either come up with a solution and the user will see the dialogue between the agents and the final solution, or they can say, oops, we need more help. this needs to be escalated. So the intermediate solution is this, but we need help from finance because we need to see the pricing points and the costs and whatnot. So they return the dialogue so far, the solution, and let's talk about an intermediate solution with the escalation request. This goes back to the orchestrator who says, we have here marketing, sales, management, and they seem to need now finance. Let's create a new group. And we create a new group that is sent again to a breaking room. They discuss it, and they come up with the solution. However, sometimes they don't come up with the best solution. In those cases, they flag it with a new level of escalation. We need human intervention. And the system returns that. Now we have an initial dialogue, an intermediate solution that needed escalation, an additional dialogue, a second intermediate solution that needs escalation, this time to a human, and the human is notified. At this point, the human can give them feedback. That information goes back into the system, and this happens until the problem is properly solved to the taste of the human. That is our solution. What we were able to do, almost all that. The part that we didn't do is when I told you imagine, because we had some silly error with Streamlit, and we're still trying to fight with it, but the whole thing is working great, and Pano is going to show it. Pano, all yours, my friend.
Right. After all of this introduction, I doubt if I should show anything. I mean, this was amazing. So what I'm going to take you through is, of course, you're looking at a notebook, but that's a very good example of what we were trying to succeed in. I can also show you the Chainlit app, but for now, we'll start from here. So the complaint comes in, and Juan told you have an e-bike company, and the client who has purchased an e-bike recently from our company has reported that after a few weeks of regular use, the bike battery is malfunctioning. So please investigate and resolve the issue. If I can scroll up a bit, you will see that we have a lot of agents in here. All of these are all agents that are spun up through AutoGen implementation, and each one of them has a GPT sitting behind
Pano, time.
Right.
Those agents that you're seeing there, we had to put in there, but in the final product, users will have a setting area where they can create their own set of agents, as many as they want.
Right.
Continue, my friend.
And I'm going to show that. So briefly, you can see that the request comes in and the manager starts chatting. You can see the marketing team steps in with 2 people out of 3 because one is not relevant to this discussion. He's not in that room. So the discussion goes back to the manager and assigns the team leader of product development, who is suggesting, he's discussing to suggest a solution. And if we read this through, you will see how well structured it is. And then he assigns a worker from his team, product development 2, to work on it. But then he goes in, the product development 2 does product development 3 does quality assurance. And this goes on and on. Then we go to customer support, and then we go again to sales until all these people collaboratively find a solution. And it's not all the company people. If we have time, I would show you these are some of them. These are selected. Now, how we input this, we have a simple JSON file where you can input a lot of description. This is very simple right now, but if I show you how it should look, because we had these problems, it should look like here. You have a manager, you have an assistant type of agent, and here is their description. Similarly, you have a marketing employee. You can build a lot yes.
Another interruption. Stop there in the description of the people. See how we go to the level of defining the personality traits, the goals of this person, the challenges he's facing, the specialities. Every aspect of a professional in the organization is described here. So it's not just, you are a great sales rep, you are a fantastic man. No, we go deep into the personality, and that influences the result of the problem. because you have to get the best people for your company. So the description of the individuals, not only with their skills as professionals, but as people, as individuals, will impact the quality of the solutions. And that's why we embedded that concept into the definition of each agent. Thank you, sir.
And we have Sarah, the engineer. So exactly, all the greets to Sarah. All the agents have a great description. If you read a bit, Michael here has an MBA. He's skilled in managing diverse teams and fostering collaborative and productive work environment. And we can have a lot of them, and they can be filtered out, orchestrated when to actually collaborate on a task. Of course, now I can, where is my terminal? Right. I can run this discussion, and sorry, because it's on a local, we couldn't run the chain lead, but you can see again, a discussion comes up and a chat starts to go. So you have marketing who suggests the following strategies, and he has a personality, right? And then the manager steps in and suggests their own points. Then Emma, the sales expert, does the same. Sarah, the engineer, steps in, and this goes on until they figure out a solution. This is still running, by the way. So you can see here, it's quite realistic. I appreciate your support, blah, blah, blah. This is how it works. I will not go into the chain lead, just to show you that the chain lead was there. This is the chain lead, but it was not logging the messages on the chain lead platform. So we couldn't get output in here. So just to wrap up about the tech stack and the possibilities of this application, not only did we try to create a single conversation, we tried to create memory. This implementation is based on Autogen, but we were actively integrating MemGPT into it, and it was just not enough time. MemGPT is a new way to define agents that tap into long-term memory and retrieve the relevant data. So our goal was to span up many chats inside this organization, and everyone would share this knowledge of these chats. So that's one tier of development that we're trying to accomplish. And the other one was that on another notebook, we managed to span these agents using open source LLMs. So we were using Mistral. It's hiding behind one of the notebooks that I have on my screen. And we were using Mistral as one of the employees, and it was holding the discussion. So that's another tier of development we're trying to achieve. Probably too many tiers, and Chainlead failed us at the last moment. But imagine, the last thing I want to say is that imagine you have this tool in your organization, and all the employees, because of MemGPT and memory, have their personalities stored somewhere on the back end. And I, as another employee, can go in a chat room with the impersonation of the employee, the agent that mirrors the employee. And I can chat, for example, with Sarah, the engineer, without actually chatting with the real Sarah, but I'm chatting with the person who knows everything that Sarah has done, all the emails she has exchanged, all the bugs she has solved. So this enables asynchronous optimization between the company tremendously. So that's the short and long-term vision. And yes. I give it back to Juan.
Thank you, Pano. Amazing presentation. Love it, love it, love it. I think we don't need even Streamlit. That was more than enough. Yeah. So what is different here? Oh, yeah, agents exist. Yeah, but not at this intelligence of level. We are picking the right team for the right solution. Number two, yeah, but agents do that already. No, we are using new discoveries show that if you, and Chris was saying it, if you use nuances of person like the personality and things like that, that influences the model. Today, I read one that said, if you tip with $20 LLM or 200 the LLM, it will give you a more advanced response based on the tip you give it. Imagine that. So the LLM is really influenced by this type of additional information from each person. Number three, the way we're building it would allow a company to automate many of their current jobs, or at least speed it up and give the final person, the final human, a very elaborated dialogue or analysis of any given problem. So I think that this has a chance to revolutionize the way corporations solve their problems, and it is